Hello. Ethan Cole mumbled into his phone, his eyes still screwed shut. He'd already cursed out whoever was wrecking his sleep 100 times in his head. Honey, I miss you. The familiar voice jolted Ethan awake. He pulled the phone away from his ear, squinting at the screen to confirm the number. Once he was sure, he sighed, the sound heavy with resignation. You've been drinking again, haven't you? Just a little. I'll have Olivia come pick you up. No, I don't want her. I want you to come get me, honey. The woman's voice was a lazy, seductive drawl, but Ethan seemed to have built up an immunity to it long ago. Chloe, we broke up. Stop this. No, I don't want to. I never agreed to it. The seduction vanished, replaced by the choked sound of tears. Ethan tried to be patient. Don't make a scene. I'll have Olivia get you. Just wait for her. I don't want her. I want you to come get me. Her voice cracked. Honey, I was wrong. Can we get back together? Please? Just like before. I'll listen to you from now on, I promise. Chloe Vance's pleading tone made Ethan's resolve flicker for a half-second. But then he remembered the things she'd said that day. Where are you? I'm sending Olivia. I'm hanging up now. Sensing the sharp edge of annoyance in his voice, Chloe asked, her own voice trembling. Is there really no chance for us? Ethan said nothing. His silence was her answer. She made one last, desperate plea. Can I see you one last time? He wanted to say no, but he hesitated, worried what this drama queen might do. Where? Hearing him ask for her location, a spark of joy ignited in Chloe's voice. The waterfront bridge. Stay put. I'm on my way. He hung up. Okay. I'll wait for you. After the call ended, Chloe stared at the only photo she had of the two of them together. Their college graduation picture. A sad, tear-streaked smile on her face. She and Ethan had met during her freshman year. She was getting boba tea with friends when he'd walked up and asked for her number. Back then, she'd pegged him as a player and shut him down. But after that, he started appearing everywhere she went. It got so annoying that Chloe finally relented and gave him her contact info. From that day on, Ethan was a constant presence, like a devoted puppy. He was handsome, sure, but his family wasn't wealthy, and Chloe felt he wasn't someone she could show off in her social circle. He remained her devoted admirer for 5 years. It was only because of relentless pressure from her family to settle down that she finally let him become her official boyfriend. Deep down, Chloe had always looked down on him, but he treated her so well. Every time Ethan wanted to post a picture of them on Instagram, she'd find an excuse to say no. They fought about it constantly, but whenever an argument started, Chloe would play her get-out-of-jail-free card. Threatening to break up, Ethan would always back down, and then later, he'd be the one comforting her. The last time she'd said it, she couldn't even remember what the trivial fight was about. All she knew was that the next morning, there was a note on the table. I'm tired. Let's break up. At the time, Chloe had scoffed at his childishness. But as days turned into weeks, she realized he was serious. The guy who used to reply to her texts instantly was now a ghost. Her messages to him were met with the red exclamation point of a blocked number. She found herself staring at their graduation photo for hours on end. The only picture she had of him, her best friend, Olivia, felt sorry for her and managed to get Ethan's new number from one of his friends. That was how Chloe had been able to make that call just now. Lost in thought, staring at the photo, she felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned, her heart lurching. It was Ethan. She quickly wiped her eyes. You came, she said, her voice raw and scratchy. A sound that sent a pang through Ethan's chest. He suppressed his own feelings, his face a mask of indifference. He just nodded. Let's go. I'll take you home. With that, he turned and got on his e-scooter. He waited a moment, but when Chloe didn't move, he glanced back impatiently. She was just standing there, a dazed, unblinking smile on her face. With a sigh, Ethan walked back to her and crouched down. He picked up the socks and shoes she'd kicked off and patiently put them back on her feet. Just as he finished and started to stand up, she cupped his face in her hands. Her moist lips pressed against his. Just as she was about to deepen the kiss, Ethan pushed her away. He stood up without a word and got back on the scooter. This time, Chloe climbed onto the seat behind him without being told. The city lights blurred as they moved, and Chloe wrapped her arms tightly around Ethan's waist, greedily inhaling the familiar scent of him. By the time they reached Chloe's house, she had fallen asleep, her tears soaking a large patch on the back of his shirt. Resigned, Ethan scooped her up in a Princess Carrie, walked to the front door, and rang the bell. The door was opened by Chloe's mother, Sharon. Her face lit up in surprise. Ethan, it's you. Ethan managed to smile. Hi, Mrs. Vance. It's been a while. Sharon glanced at the daughter asleep in his arms and quickly opened the door wider for him to come in. Chloe's parents had met Ethan before and knew the two had likely broken up. They'd always had a good impression of him. So what if his family wasn't from New York? They had everything they needed and didn't care about those things. All they wanted was for their daughter to be happy. After Ethan laid Chloe down in her bedroom, he tried to leave, but her father, David, was sitting in the living room with Sharon. Ethan, come sit down. Your uncle has something to talk to you about, David said, his voice deep and resonant. To be honest, it made Ethan nervous. He steeled himself and sat on the sofa. Mr. and Mrs. Vance. They both nodded. David smiled. How come you haven't been by the house lately, Ethan? Ethan knew David was playing dumb. He forced a smile. Chloe and I had a little disagreement. I was afraid you'd give me a talking to, sir. David let out a hearty laugh. I don't get involved in you two's relationship, and you don't have to pretend. Your aunt and I can see what's going on. You two broke up, didn't you? Seeing there was no point in hiding it, Ethan nodded reluctantly. Sharon spoke up, her voice tinged with anxiety. Couples fight all the time. It's normal. It shouldn't have to lead to a breakup. Ethan didn't say anything, just stared at the floor. David saw that Ethan didn't want to talk about it and changed the subject. It's getting late. Why don't you just stay the night here, Ethan? Ethan quickly waved his hands. No, that's okay. I've got some things to take care of, so I should get going. David nodded. Come by any time. Ethan mumbled an agreement and beat a hasty retreat. Once he was gone, Sharon started sighing. She truly felt for her daughter. She knew something was wrong the moment Chloe had moved back home. Come on, they're young. Let them sort out their own problems. Why are you getting so worked up? David said. It hurts me to see Chloe like this every day. How can you, as her father, not feel for your own daughter? I know my own daughter, David countered. She must have done something to make that boy angry. Sharon was immediately defensive. Whose side are you on? Is Ethan your son? Or is Chloe your daughter? How can you say that about her? All right. David conceded. I don't like seeing her this way either. But we can't force Ethan, can we? They both fell silent. As her parents, they were all too aware of Chloe's princess-like temperament. At that moment, Chloe was sitting on the floor just inside her bedroom. The door cracked open. She had heard every word. The next morning, Ethan dragged himself out of bed. Feeling groggy from the late night, he grabbed a quick breakfast from a deli downstairs and rushed to the office. Clocking in at 8:59 on the dot, he breathed a sigh of relief. He hadn't been late. His perfect attendance bonus was safe. Cutting it close again, Ethan? His supervisor, Mark, teased. Trying not to work an extra minute, huh? Sorry, Mark. Overslept. Hey, I'm just messing with you. Go on. Get to work. Ethan nodded and went to his desk, firing up his computer. The young woman at the next desk immediately leaned over. Ethan, you want to get dinner tonight? Ethan shook his head. Can't. I'm broke. Lily wasn't giving up. Come on, please. My treat. You won't have to pay. He shook his head again. He just wasn't interested in Lily. Or maybe he was still too hung up on Chloe to even consider another woman. Seeing him so unresponsive, Lily pouted. She was starting to wonder if Ethan was even into women. She was, by all accounts, a beautiful girl, but he showed zero interest. Then again, thinking about his personality, it made a strange sort of sense. She'd never seen him flirt with any other girl in the office. She remembered when she was an intern and Ethan was assigned as her mentor. He was handsome, mature, and had a clean, drama-free life that had instantly captivated her. She'd dropped countless hints, but he'd rejected every one. He never even came to company happy hours. Seeing Lily's dejected face, their colleague Chris nudged her. That's not gonna work. Ethan doesn't eat with strangers. What? Lily looked confused. She was a stranger. Chris grinned. Want me to help you out? Lily nodded eagerly. She really liked Ethan. Buy me a coffee, and I'll help you. Just as Lily was about to agree, Ethan shot Chris a sharp glare. Chris awkwardly slid back to his own desk. Don't listen to him, Ethan said to Lily. He can't help you. Oh, she mumbled. Then she tried again. So, Ethan, what's your type? Without looking away from his screen, Ethan deadpanned. I'm into guys. Lily, getting the hint, finally turned back to her work. Ethan had no idea what she saw in him, other than the first 2 weeks of her internship, when they'd had to work closely. He had barely spoken to her. A sharp clap echoed through the office, drawing everyone's attention. It was Mark. "Hey, everyone," Mark said, waiting for all eyes to be on him. "We've got a new GM starting today. I need you all on your best behavior. We can slack off after the boss leaves. Okay? Just do me this one favor." "You got it, Mark," the team chorused. Mark was one of the good ones. He was easygoing and would often cover for his team when they messed up, so he had everyone's respect. A moment after he left, the office started buzzing. "I didn't hear anything about a new GM." "Yeah, me neither. Or that the old one was leaving." "You think it's a parachute hire? Someone from corporate?" Ethan ignored the gossip, completely focused on an email exchange with a client. His company was an import-export firm that dealt mainly in household goods. Just before noon, Mark reappeared, trailing behind a woman. She was beautiful, and Ethan knew her. Who else could it be but Chloe Vance? This morning, Chloe had gotten her father, David, to pull some strings and get her a position at this company. And apparently David had a lot of pull. The owner had given Chloe the general manager position outright. Chloe walked straight to Ethan's desk, a triumphant smile on her face. Mark looked nervous, terrified that Ethan had somehow offended the new GM. He'd misheard earlier. She wasn't a VP, but the general manager, Ms. Vance. "Honey," Chloe said. The word dropped like a bomb. The office went dead silent. Every jaw was on the floor, all eyes fixed on them. Ethan ignored her, turning back to his monitor and pretending to be intensely focused on his work. Next to him, Lily was grinding her teeth. No wonder Ethan had ignored her. He was married, and he'd told her he was single. Chloe didn't linger. She followed Mark's directions to the GM's office. The second she was out of sight, Ethan's colleagues swarmed him. "Ethan, you're married to the new GM? Dude, you gotta look out for your old pal now." "Ethan, you're the man." Ethan tried to explain. "I don't know her. She's crazy." His colleagues were about to press him for more when they saw Mark walking back. They scrambled back to their desks. "Ethan, what's the deal?" Mark asked, his curiosity piqued. "Why did Ms. Vance call you honey? I thought you were single." Ethan repeated his defense, exhausted. "I don't know her. She's crazy." Seeing that Ethan wouldn't talk, Mark didn't push it. Once Mark was gone, Lily leaned over again, her eyes red and welling up. "Ethan, you lied to me. You're married." Ethan felt helpless. He'd rejected this girl so many times, but it was like she didn't understand the word no. He just shook his head, not dignifying her with a response. Seeing him ignore her, Lily glared fiercely at the GM's office door. "He's mine," she thought. "You're not stealing him from me, you old hag." At the end of the day, Ethan was about to get on his e-scooter to go home when a pair of arms wrapped around him from behind. He turned, annoyed. "What are you doing?" Chloe just smiled. "Going home with my husband, of course. We broke up, Ms. Vance." "I don't care. I didn't agree, so we didn't break up." Watching Chloe's relentless, clingy behavior, Ethan saw a faint reflection of his former self. He tried to reason with her patiently. "Stop it, Chloe. I'm not good enough for you. Right now, you're just upset because I broke up with you, and your pride is hurt. I really don't want you messing up the quiet life I have now." Chloe didn't say a word, just kept her arms locked around his waist. Defeated, Ethan could only take her back to his rented apartment. "Honey, is this where you live now?" The place was just a single room with a bathroom, cramped even for one person. "Yeah, see? I'm not good enough for you." Chloe didn't understand. She had seen his pay stubs when she started her job that morning. He was making over $20,000 a month. Even with New York rent, he shouldn't be living in a place this bad. She sat on the bed and then lay down. Ethan ignored her and carried a pile of dirty laundry into the bathroom to wash. Chloe watched him, a strange fantasy playing out in her mind. Her and Ethan, with a baby, and him standing there washing dirty diapers. A goofy grin spread across her face. Ethan frowned at her lovesick expression. "When are you going home?" Chloe took off her jacket and burrowed under the covers. "This is my home." Just as Ethan was about to argue, his phone rang. Seeing it was his mom, he quickly wiped his hands and answered. "Mom, what's up?" Maria's voice sounded tired. "Son, do you have any money? The doctor just prescribed some more medicine." Yes, I do," Ethan said quickly. "I'll send it over right away." "Son, this has been so hard on you. He heard his mother start to cry. He rushed to comfort her. It's okay, Mom. What did the doctor say? When can Dad come home? Maria wiped her tears. Soon. He just has a 1-week observation period left. If everything's fine, he can be discharged. That's great. Mom, you take care of Dad. I'll take some time off and come back for a visit. Okay. After hanging up, Ethan immediately called Mark. Hey, Mark? Can I borrow some money? How much? 3,000. Mark didn't hesitate. I'll Venmo it to you. Pay me back when you can. No rush. Thanks, man. We're friends. Don't mention it. Chloe, who had been watching, asked, Your dad's in the hospital? Ethan nodded. If you needed money, you should have asked me. I can give it to you. Why would you borrow from someone else? Ethan gave a bitter smile. It's fine. I've got it. Unsatisfied, Chloe pressed on. When are you going back home? I'll go with you. Ethan finished hanging the wet clothes to dry, still ignoring her. Knock, knock, knock. A knock at the door was followed by a muffled DoorDash. Just leave it at the door, thanks. Ethan called out. He finished hanging the last shirt and went to get the food. The moment he was out the door, Chloe snatched his phone from the table. She found the contact recently saved as Mom and dialed. Hello? Son, what is it? Hi, Mrs. Cole. This is Ethan's girlfriend. We're going to come see you in a few days. Maria's voice filled with surprise. Oh, you must be Chloe. Chloe was stunned. She hadn't expected Ethan's mother to even know she existed. Yes, ma'am. I'm Chloe. Ethan walked back in with the takeout and saw Chloe on the phone with his mother. He lunged to grab it, but he heard his mom's voice through the speaker. Is that Ethan with you? Chloe quickly replied. Yes, he is. He doesn't want me to come see you too. He's being mean to me. Maria was instantly upset. Ethan, how can you treat a girl like that? You? Before she could continue, Ethan cut in. Mom, I've got something going on here. I'll call you back later. He hung up and was met with Chloe's smug, triumphant expression. Honey, the password is still my birthday. You still think about me, don't you? Ethan didn't bother to explain. He turned, opened the container of takeout, and started eating. Seeing him ignore her, Chloe got off the bed, crept up behind him, and wrapped her arms around his neck. She whispered tenderly in his ear, Honey, I'll never say we should break up again. Please, forgive me this one time. I really know I was wrong. Ethan still didn't respond, forcing himself to remain calm and focus on his food. When he was nearly finished, he said, Get up. I'm going out. Chloe's temper flared. She'd laid herself this bare, and he was still ignoring her. Ethan, what do you want from me? He turned and looked at her, his own anger rising. We are broken up. Please, stop interfering in my life. Thank you. Ethan grabbed his jacket and walked out. Watching him leave, tears streamed down Chloe's face. He had changed. The old Ethan would never have spoken to her so harshly. That tone was reserved for other people, never for her. She collapsed back onto the bed, hugging the comforter and sobbing, mumbling to herself over and over. He doesn't want me anymore. He doesn't want me. Downstairs, Ethan bought a pack of cigarettes. He hadn't smoked in a long time. The nicotine numbed his nerves. In the time he'd been away from Chloe, he had thought things through very clearly. They weren't right for each other. They were from different worlds. And right now, he couldn't figure her out. He suspected this was just her princess-like pride acting up. She couldn't stand being dumped by a poor guy like him. She was faking this reconciliation just so she could be the one to dump him later and get her pride back. After 2 cigarettes, he went back up to the apartment. Chloe was asleep, tear tracks still wet on her cheeks. A sharp pain pierced Ethan's heart. This was the girl he had loved for 6 years, his first love. How could he possibly act like he didn't care? He reached out and gently wiped the tears from her eyes, his gaze lingering on her beautiful face. I can't go back to how tired I was before, he thought. I'm afraid I can't handle it. He pulled the covers over her, then took out his phone and booked a bus ticket home for the next day. After packing a small bag, Ethan closed the door behind him and took a cab to the bus terminal. When Chloe woke up, Ethan still hadn't returned. She found his number on her phone and dialed. Beep, beep, beep. The number you have dialed is no longer in service. She tried again, refusing to believe it. The same automated message. Ethan, where are you? Where are you? Chloe hugged her knees and began to cry again. After a long time, she numbly called her best friend, Olivia. Livy, Ethan's gone. He doesn't want me anymore. Olivia's heart ached for her. Chloe, don't cry. You found him once, right? Just follow him. Wherever he is, you go there. But I don't know where he is now. He blocked my number. What? No way. Olivia was at a loss. Everyone used to be so jealous of Chloe. Ethan was handsome and completely devoted to her. Besides his family's financial situation, he was perfect. Their friends often teased Chloe, but she never seemed to care about Ethan's feelings back then. Everyone assumed she was just playing around with him. But after he left, Chloe's grief was clearly not an act. Chloe, hold on. I'll ask his friend from back home where his family lives. You go to his house. I refuse to believe this. Olivia was getting angry now, too. Her best friend, Chloe Vance, had never been treated this way in her life. Okay, Livy, thank you. The next day, Ethan arrived in his hometown of Lakewood, Ohio. He went straight to the hospital where his father was staying. In the room, Robert Cole was already looking much better. Dad, how are you feeling? Robert smiled. I'm fine, don't you worry. It's just the same old problem. Maria shot him a look. I tell you not to drink, but you never listen. Yeah, Dad, you should drink less. All right, I'll cut back, Robert said. Hey, your mother told me your girlfriend was coming to visit. Where is she? He even craned his neck to look behind Ethan. Just as Ethan was about to explain, a girl burst into the room. It was Chloe. She stared daggers at Ethan. Why did you block my number? Why? What's going on here? Robert could see something was very wrong between them. Dad, we have something to discuss outside. Ethan grabbed Chloe's arm and pulled her out of the hospital. How did you find me? Chloe didn't answer his question. Why did you block me, Ethan? What is it you want? We're not a good fit. I'm not good enough for you. I say you are, so you are. Ethan laughed, but it was a strained, painful sound. I don't have time to play these games with you anymore. I want to get married and settle down. Your Highness, please, just let me go. Chloe reached into her purse and pulled out a folded document. Her birth certificate. Ethan, let's go to City Hall and get married right now. I'm not playing with you. I, Chloe Vance, am in love with you. With that, she threw herself into his arms. Ethan, can you please love me again? I'm so scared of losing you. Her voice was muffled against his chest, her body shaking with sobs. I'm so scared. Yesterday, I honestly thought about dying. I thought I would never see you again. Ethan's hand slowly, hesitantly, came to rest on her back. Then you have to promise me you'll never say we should break up again. I promise, she sobbed. I'll never say it again. Once Chloe had calmed down, Ethan led her back to the hospital room. Mom, Dad, this is Chloe. Oh my, so this is Chloe. She's so beautiful. Maria rushed over and took Chloe's hand, then noticed her red, swollen eyes. She immediately slapped Ethan on the arm. You little brat. You made this poor girl cry again. Chloe quickly defended him. Mrs. Cole. No, it wasn't him. I was just so emotional. After 4 or 5 days in Lakewood, Ethan and Chloe returned to New York. When Sharon saw Ethan holding her daughter's hand as they walked in, her face bloomed into a wide smile. Ethan, you're back. Hi, Mrs. Vance. Mom. Come in. I'll go make dinner. At the dinner table, David was also delighted to see them back together. Ethan, your aunt and I have always been very fond of you. When should our families meet? Sir, once my dad is out of the hospital, I'll have him come for a visit. Your dad's been in the hospital? Oh, we can't have him travel. We'll go to your hometown. That's no problem. Ethan looked embarrassed. Sir, my family, our situation isn't the best. David immediately waved his hand. Ethan, we only have one daughter. After you two get married, everything we have will be yours. I only have one condition. You can never let Chloe down. I promise, Ethan said, his voice firm and serious. The next day, Ethan and Chloe went to work together, her arms wrapped around his waist on the e-scooter. When Lily saw their intimate arrival, a wave of jealousy washed over her. She marched up to them. Ethan, you too. You? Chloe could see that this little girl had a crush on her man. Young lady, this is my husband. Please have some self-respect. Lily ignored Chloe, looking expectantly at Ethan. Ethan knew he had to clear things up. Lily, I've always told you it wasn't possible between us, and I've rejected you very clearly. This is my fiancé. At his words, Tears streamed down Lily's face. Ethan, why do you love her? I'm younger than her. I'm prettier than her. Why don't you love me? Chloe nearly exploded. What was this girl talking about? She'd concede the younger part. But prettier? Not a chance in hell. Ethan quickly grabbed Chloe's hand. All right, don't get worked up over a kid. Chloe immediately put on a demure act. Okay, honey. Watching their sickeningly sweet display, Lily turned and ran off. Later that day, they submitted their resignations to the company. Ethan also paid back the money he owed Mark. Years later, Chloe held their child in her arms, watching Ethan wash diapers, and couldn't help but smile. Honey, I love you. I love you too, my love.